This video will cover the different ways to solve a word problem. By the end of this video, you will be able to draw pictures to solve word problems. Visual representation can help understand and solve complex word problems. Draw diagrams, graphs, or models to help visualize the problem and develop a solution. Choose good names for unknowns to solve word problems. When encountering unknown values in word problems, assigning clear and meaningful variables is essential. Use systematic methods to solve word problems. Using systematic approaches, such as identifying given information, determining the desired outcome, and breaking down the problem into smaller steps, can enhance problem-solving skills and improve accuracy in solving word problems. Look for patterns to solve word problems. Identify patterns or relationships among the given information in word problems. Recognizing these patterns can provide valuable insights and lead to more efficient problem-solving strategies. Guess and check to solve word problems. Sometimes trial and error can be an effective strategy in solving word problems. Make educated guesses and test solutions to determine if they satisfy the given conditions. Visualizing word problems through drawing pictures can greatly help you understand and solve them. By creating a visual representation, you can better comprehend the problem at hand and develop effective solutions. Here are some steps to follow for drawing pictures to solve word problems. Step 1. Read and understand the word problem, identifying the critical information and what needs to be found. Step 2. Determine the quantities or objects involved in the problem, such as the number of birds, students, slices of pizza, or books. Step 3. Analyze the relationship between the quantities, considering if they are being divided equally among groups or shared equally among individuals. Step 4. Use shapes or diagrams to represent quantities and their relationships. Label the parts with the given information. Step 5. Utilize the picture to solve the problem. Count or use basic math operations to find the solution. Step 6. After finding the solution, ensure it aligns with the context of the problem. Double-check the work if necessary. Read the following problem. Now let's solve it. The problem states that a pet store has 24 birds and wants to distribute them equally into 4 cages. To solve this, we need to determine how many birds will be in each cell. The first step is to read and understand the problem carefully. Next, identify the quantities involved, which are 24 birds and 4 cages. Finally, determine the relationship between the amounts. The birds are distributed equally among the 4 cages. To determine the number of birds in each cage, we divide the total number of birds, 24, by the number of cages, 4. By dividing 24 by 4, we find that there will be 6 birds in each cage. This calculation can be illustrated by drawing 4 cages and dividing the birds equally among them. Choosing good names for unknowns is an essential problem-solving strategy for word problems. Names play a crucial role in enhancing clarity and understanding. Good names help in organizing information and making connections. Clear and meaningful names make it easier to follow the problem-solving process. Avoiding ambiguous or confusing names is essential for effective communication. Encourage students to think about the context and meaning behind the variables they choose. Emphasize the need for consistency in naming conventions throughout the problem. Provide examples to illustrate the impact of good and bad variable names on problem solving. Highlight the role of good naming in promoting logical thinking and problem-solving skills. Here are some steps to follow for choosing good names. Step 1. Read the word problem carefully and identify the quantities or objects involved to understand what the problem asks you to find. Step 2. Identify the quantities you need to find or represent with an unknown. Assign a letter or symbol to represent each unknown. Step 3. Choose names that clearly describe the unknowns or variables in the context of the problem. Use letters that are relevant to the quantities they represent. Step 4. Write down the equations or relationships between the known quantities and the unknowns using the chosen names. Additionally, ensure that the equations accurately represent the problem at hand. Step 5. Utilize the equations and algebraic techniques to solve for the unknowns and determine the solutions to the problem. Apply logical reasoning and mathematical principles to arrive at accurate results. Step 6. Once the solutions have been obtained, it is crucial to evaluate their plausibility within the context of the problem. Take a moment to double-check your work and verify the validity of the solutions. This problem requires careful attention and a step-by-step approach to solve it. First, it is crucial to read the problem carefully to fully understand its context. Next, we need to identify the unknown variables involved. One such variable is represented by EB, which stands for the number of professors who teach both engineering and business. Step 3. Using descriptive names is important in the problem-solving process. Step 4. We need to write down the equation to represent the given information. Step 5. To solve the problem, we can substitute the values into the equation. By doing so, we can determine the value of EB. Step 6. Check your answer. In order to determine whether our previous conclusion is accurate, we need to verify our answer. It is logical to assume that there are no professors who teach both engineering and business, given the fact that the total number of professors is 50. When solving word problems, it is important to utilize the strategy of looking for patterns. Patterns have a tendency to repeat and follow specific rules or sequences. By identifying these patterns, we can greatly increase our chances of finding the solution to the problem at hand. The first step in solving word problems involving patterns is to carefully read the problem and identify the given information, including any initial terms or values provided in the sequence. This will help us understand the problem better and determine what needs to be solved. Once we have identified the given information, the next step is to examine the sequence of numbers or terms given in the problem. We should look for any patterns or trends that may repeat from term to term. By doing so, we can start to see if there is a recurring pattern or relationship between the terms. Based on our observations of the sequence, the third step is to try to determine the rule or pattern that governs the sequence. This could involve addition, multiplication, division, or other operations. By understanding the underlying pattern, we can find a solution to the word problem. In summary, solving word problems involving patterns requires reading the problem carefully, identifying the given information, examining the sequence for any patterns, and determining the rule or pattern that governs the sequence. Step 4 involves using the rule or pattern identified earlier to find the desired term or value in the sequence as stated in the problem. This step is crucial in solving the problem accurately. Once you have found the term or value, proceed to Step 5, which requires verifying that your answer aligns with the established pattern and follows the rule established by the sequence. This verification step ensures the correctness of your solution. In summary, Steps 4 and 5 are integral to successfully finding and confirming the desired term or value in the sequence. Let's consider an example. We have a sequence 1, 2, 4, 8, 16. This sequence follows a pattern where each term is double the preceding term. Now, we need to determine the value of the 8th term in the sequence. Step 1. Identify the given information. The sequence starts with 1 and each term is obtained by doubling the preceding term. Step 2. Observe the sequence. We notice that the terms in the sequence are doubling from term to term. Step 3. Determine the rule or pattern. The rule in this sequence is to double each term to obtain the next term. By applying the rule, we can find the 8th term in the sequence. Step 4. To find the desired term, we can use the formula 8th term equals 16 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2, which simplifies to 256. Step 5. To check our answer, we observe that the 8th term, 256, follows the pattern of doubling each preceding term. When tackling complex word problems or those that involve unknowns, a useful strategy is to employ the guess and check method. This approach entails making educated guesses for the unknowns and subsequently verifying if those guesses satisfy the given conditions. By employing this problem-solving strategy, individuals can effectively navigate and solve challenging word problems. Now let's go over the steps to solve word problems. First, it is important to carefully read and understand the problem. This involves identifying what information is known and what needs to be found. Next, based on the information given in the problem, we need to make an educated guess for the value of the unknown variable. This guess should be reasonable and within the range of possible solutions. After making our educated guess, we need to plug it into the problem to see if it satisfies all the given conditions. If our guess doesn't work, we should try adjusting it until we find a value that fits the problem's requirements. The steps to solve word problems involve carefully reading and understanding the problem, making an educated guess for the unknown variable, and then testing our guess to see if it satisfies all the given conditions. Once a suitable guess satisfying all the given conditions is found, it becomes the solution to the problem. It is crucial to verify the answer by ensuring not only its logical accuracy, but also its alignment with the context of the problem. A grandmother is 7 times as old as her granddaughter. In 6 years, she will be 6 times as old as her granddaughter. How old is the granddaughter now? Step 1. Read and understand the problem. The grandmother's age is 7 times the granddaughter's age. Additionally, in 6 years, the grandmother's age will be 6 times the granddaughter's age. Step 2. Make an educated guess. Let's assume that the granddaughter's current age is 6 years. Now let's proceed to solve the problem using the given information and our educated guess. The speaker should elaborate on the steps taken to solve the problem and provide explanations for each step. Step 3. Check your guess. After 6 years, the granddaughter will be 12 years old and the grandmother will be 42 years old, as calculated by multiplying 7 by 6. This confirms that in 6 years, the grandmother will indeed be 6 times as old as the granddaughter. Step 4. Find the solution. Currently, the granddaughter is 6 years old. Step 5. Verify your answer. The answer is logical and accurate, as the grandmother is indeed 7 times the age of the granddaughter.